What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. Aston Villa 2, Tottenham 0. Another day, another defeat for Tottenham Hotspur. 21 defeats in the Premier League this season. And look, it was a much changed side, wasn't it? 11 changes from the second leg at Bodo. And for the first 45 minutes, I thought we handled it. I wouldn't say we were brilliant or anything, but I thought we handled it okay, you know, defending resolutely, not letting Villa have too many chances on goal and restricting them to probably, you know, they were very frustrated in that first half. And I think that was due to the good work that Spurs were doing. And I thought we were being very aggressive up against the Villa forward line. But look, the reality was this team was never going to be good enough to go to Villa Park in a massive game for them and go and do the business. And I think, you know, once the second half started, you could kind of tell what was going to happen. And once the goal came on the kind of hour mark, it was just kind of one-way traffic from there.
I think that was it. That was the goal, because I think that was the killer, I think, that opening goal. Because I think even in the second half, there was that period just before they scored, we were having a bit of possession, looking confident, not recreating anything, but, you know, having a bit of the ball and looking to, like, settle into the game. And I thought, like, first half started fairly well, had a couple of early moments on the counter-attack. Odebear had this back heel chance, which forced Martinez into a save. Sonny was causing trouble down the left. One moment he cut inside and shoot from a tight angle, whisker away from hitting the top corner. And he had a couple of decent breakaways as well, where he was looking threatening. So it was looking all right. Villa, I think, as the half wore on, was starting to win that midfield battle and starting to really dominate and create some moments. Obviously, Kinski had to make a brilliant save from Morgan Rogers, and they were getting some moments from crosses from Watkins was getting some half chances, Asensio as well. They were buzzing around. So I do think as the half wore on, Villa were definitely asserting themselves and penning us in a bit, and we struggled to really create near the end of that half. And then second half started, as you say. I think there was I feel like at the game of the 0-0 there was just a nervous energy about Villa. They were kind of, maybe they thought it was going to be easier than it was up until that point, and maybe they thought they were going to basically blitz us and it was just going to be a simple win. But with it 0-0, I think just before the hour mark, I think there was a bit of a nervous energy. And there was that moment just before they scored where we were having a bit of a spell possession and they looked a bit just on edge, and the fans were getting a bit tetchy. You could hear it on TV. But as soon as they got that goal from the corner, Ezri Konsa flicking in a header from Watkins, and it just settled them down. And after that, it was just plain sailing. We had nothing. We didn't offer anything. And Villa, they gained confidence, and you could see it just flow through the team. All of a sudden, little quick interchange, all of a sudden, the confidence was flowing through the team, and they just dominated, penned us in, got the second through Kamara, and it was a simple day in the end.
Yeah, I mean, look, once the first goal went in, you knew that we were never going to get back into that game, and we never even threatened to get back in that game after they went 1-0 up. But I would say in the first half, Sonny looked really bright out on that left-hand side, you know, showing good turn of pace. Yeah, maybe not creating enough and more and enough than what maybe he should have done, but I felt like if anyone was going to do something in the first half where we were looking somewhat threatening, it was always going to be through Sonny, wasn't it? And, you know, in terms of Sonny being out injured, looking to get him back to some sort of levels for Wednesday, I guess you can call it a somewhat success in from that aspect. I don't think he really showed up for the second half, though.
Yeah, I think, look, I'm not going to say it was his best game, but definitely in the first half, I think some of the turns of pace that we saw from Sonny is something that we haven't seen much even this season. The way he strode past Cash and Kamara on a couple of occasions, leaving them for dead. And yes, probably could have done better with when he got into the space, but the pace he was showing was something that tells me he's in terms of physically, he's going to be ready for Sunday, and I think he's going to be looking a lot better and sharper for Sunday. So there was that one moment as well. He cut inside and just had a ferocious shot to the back post and nearly found the top corner. And those are the kind of things, you know, you want to see from Son, because he's got that quality. So I think based on what we saw today, he played 75 minutes as well, and he didn't get taken off at half time like Angel he might have done. He played 75 minutes. So I think in the lead up to a cup final, in terms of preparation, that was probably good enough for me to suggest he's probably going to start on Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, do you think the 75 minutes would have done him well? Would you have preferred him to get taken off at half time? Because initially I would have said 45 minutes probably, you know, would have been enough, but maybe because he's been out injured for so long, to get him in his rhythm, maybe the 75 minutes would have done him the world of good.
Yeah, if he feels like he can carry on and he feels good, then keep him on for as long as possible, because then once he comes to Wednesday, he'll have those minutes in his legs behind him to play even longer. So I think it's probably a good thing he played 75 minutes. Again, the other players around him, Odegaard, Tell, more. I mean, Tell and Odegaard in the first half showed flashes, but as definitely in the second half, they were poor and they couldn't really get involved in the game. There was one moment, a bit of flash of good stuff from Odegaard where he kind of rode a challenge from McGinn, played a good ball out wide to Tell, but nothing really came of it. Apart from that, he struggled. Tell had a few opportunities to kind of show bits, but he struggled again. Moore was really struggling down that right-hand side. To be honest, I thought Maatsen had the beating of him every time physically. So that was a disappointment. We'd like to have seen more from him. So I think when it comes to auditions to being on the lineup, probably as well the fact that we saw Solanke and Richarlison together at the end, maybe hinting as that's maybe what we're going to be seeing on Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, if Odegaard would have put in a bit of a stronger performance today, he could have staked a claim to the spot, but he didn't. That's the reality. Look, that was that one moment with the back heel, but apart from that, didn't really look threatening throughout the time he was on the pitch. So with Solanke and Richarlison coming on, I think that does suggest to you that's what we're going to see on Wednesday night. And I think we pretty much know the team now for Wednesday night, with Vicario, the back four of Porro, Udogie, Romero, Van de Ven, Bissouma, Bentancur in double pivot, Solanke and Richarlison very close to each other, and then Sonny and Brendan Johnson on the flank. So I think we pretty much know it, don't we?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that's probably the right team. I think physically it's probably the right team. I think in terms of trying to make up for a lack of creativity with Maddison, Decky and Bergvall all being out, just get a lot of crosses into Solanke and Richarlison, and have Son delivering from the left, you have Porro delivering from the right, and that should make up for what would be the lack of creativity in those central areas. I would hope for.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just like a massive weight kind of lifted off the shoulders at 90 minutes, because I was like just waiting for this game to be over. Like even 2 days ago, I was saying, just get this weekend over and done with, get us till Bilbao. And that is the only thing that really matters right now. And yeah, look, it pains you to see Spurs lose, particularly the amount of times we've lost this season. But the reality is this game didn't mean anything in terms of our outlook of the season. All that matters is on Wednesday night. We've come through unscathed, apart from, I think, Pape's gone off with an injury.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how he is.
Which, look, he was never going to start, but he could have made an impact off the bench, holding on to the game in the last 20 minutes or something.
Another in-midfield injury is something we could have done without.
Yeah, absolutely. But look, the reality is, just get us to Wednesday. The performance is going to be a lot better than what we showed today. We've shown it time and time again this season, from the games before Frankfurt onto Frankfurt, the games before Bodo onto Bodo, both legs. So I have no doubt in my mind that we're going to see a much different Spurs team. Well, we'll see it personnel-wise, but in terms of mentality, attitude, I did feel like the aggression from the team was actually really good in the first half today. And then second half, it just seemed to drop off a lot in terms of aggressive-wise. I'm not sure what that was down to.
Well, I think we were definitely purposefully not kind of pressing at full pelt today, especially in both halves. I think we were definitely holding off on Aston Villa, and I think we were kind of waiting for them. We were waiting for them to come into us, and we weren't kind of going full pelt. We weren't getting in their faces, but I thought at times in that first half it was working, and I thought we were frustrating them. But again, as soon as that first goal goes in, all of a sudden sitting off them is what they want, because they don't mind you sitting off them because they don't need to score now. And that is, as soon as they get the goal, they got you exactly where they want you, and that's the problem. So I think it was probably working for a bit, and it was shades of what we were seeing in Europa League games, but I think as soon as we go 1-0 down, it kills that approach, and we needed to go a bit more full on them. And either way, probably suits them, because whether we sit off them, they just see out the game, or we go at them and then all of a sudden they can pick us off. Either way, that goal kills us, and it did.
So another forgettable game for Tottenham Hotspur. Like I said before, 21 defeats this season, but let's just bloody hope that we could do the business in Bilbao Wednesday night and I cannot wait. I am still nothing's going to knock the stuffing out of me. Nothing's going to knock the excitement out of me. Not 21 losses, not nothing, because I am absolutely gassed to get to Bilbao. I set off on Monday. Sim sets off on Tuesday. And just get us to that city in Spain, man. Just get us there.
Look, we knew, I was saying to Ben before the game, it's just another game we're going to have to get through. It's just so obvious. We're obviously not going to win. It's obviously we're not going to get anything out of this game. To be honest, performing like we did in the first half was probably better than I'd hoped for. I thought the whole game was probably going to be like the last half an hour or the most of the second half. So, the fact that we held them off for an hour, I would have taken that before the game.
11 changes as well, though.
It is what it is. It is what it is. We're playing. How many teenagers did we start with? 3 or 4 teenagers. Much changed team as well. It was always going to be difficult. It was always going to be difficult to kind of keep them at bay, considering what a massive game it was as well for them, and it was important for their top 4 challenge. They were never going to let us get away with the result here, and we definitely needed to take the lead as well if that was going to happen. So we didn't do that. We probably, we had those chances right at the beginning. If we put one of them away, maybe it could have been different. But even then, it probably is not. But maybe it could have been. As soon as we're given Villa the lead, they're very good at hanging on to leads. They're very tactical team.
They didn't even need to be good at hanging on to lead today.
No, they didn't. I mean, it was simple for them. And I think definitely the forward line, the lack of physicality, you could see every time we were playing the ball into midfield or in the forward line, just coming back at us, because you got Konsa, Kamara, Onana, Pau Torres. It was so easy for them to just win those duels every time and sustain that attack and come back on us. So it was another really difficult watch and another disappointing game. But at the end of the day, we've got a cup final in Bilbao. Yes, it's not nice watching these games. It's not nice basically seeing us sacrifice all these Premier League games at the altar of winning the Europa League. But that's what we've got to do. I think that's the right course of action. I think that's the only way we're going to get any sort of happiness out of the season, is if we put all our eggs in that Europa basket. And that's what we've done. That's, we've gone like we did today. United have gone full strength today. They're currently 0-0. I can see it at the bridge, but they've gone really full strength. We'll see what condition they'll be on Wednesday, which approach will pay dividends. But let's hope what we've done is going to be worth it.
Which approach do you think is the smarter move? I think, I guess different teams call for different approaches, and when you look at Spurs and when you look at every game, we just seem to pick up an injury. And this game was no different, by the way, because Sarr goes down today. Kulusevski goes down in the last game. Which approach do you think probably is the best way to get the result in the final? Is it better to kind of rest players so your kind of key players are not playing for 10 days, or do the players need rhythm?
I think in a perfect world, they probably do need a bit of rhythm. I think not playing for 2 weeks is not the ideal scenario, but knowing how tight, how much of a knife edge this cup final was on, and how tight the margins are going to be, and also the injuries we keep getting when we are playing, and the injury we did get, big injury we got in the last game, and the fact that we do seem to be rotating a lot up until these Europa League games, we do seem to be doing okay. I think for us, it's probably the smarter move. And as well, we're knowing that this cup for us, not just getting Champions League, but just that winning a trophy is everything to this club and everything to the fans. I think we've just got to put all the eggs in this basket. I think for Amorim Man United, it's a bit different because in terms of their approach, it's like it's not like he doesn't care about you winning Europa, but it's like that's not the be all and end all. The be all and end all is creating a team that could challenge on all fronts and being a consistent team and aiming that goal. And if like in his mind, if you can't handle playing on Friday and then playing again on Wednesday, then you're not good enough for this football club, and you should be able to handle it. Whereas right now for us, it's like everything is riding on this cup final in terms of just winning that trophy and how much it would mean for this club. I think in a different scenario, if we were in a different place in the league, or if we hadn't had all these injuries this season and it was a different kind of kettle of fish, you probably would want to make a few changes, but not as many as we did. Well, let's say and Chen said himself, he probably wouldn't want to make all 11 in a perfect world, but he kind of feels like he has to.
Let's say we were in a similar position as we were to last year, bearing down on the top 4, a point outside the top 4 or something. Mm-hmm. We're probably going strong today.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
put a much stronger team out there today. 100%.
And that's why as well, because like Man United are in a similar position to us in the league. That's why I was a bit surprised that they went as strong as they did today. Because their league game means absolutely nothing.
I agree, but he's made it clear. He's made it clear, Amorim, or he's given a dive against Yellow. He's made it clear, Amorim, that whether they win or lose, like it doesn't change anything for him, like how he sees the team and all this kind of stuff. Whereas for us, it's just different. It's like this is like in terms of when people say like if you win the Europa League for Man United all the time, it's just papering over the cracks. But it's like for us, that's not the point. Like this is everything. Like this is what we want, is this trophy. Like this is not about papering over the cracks or anything. This is about doing something we haven't done in 16 years. This is the goal. The goal is to win the trophy. Like for Man United, it isn't the goal to win the Europa League. The goal is to be title challengers and be consistent. Obviously, we one day want to be there as well. But for where we are right now as a club, this is the goal: is getting a trophy over the line and winning something for the football club. That is like everything. So it's not about papering over cracks. Like this is like it. If you know what I mean.
To a certain extent, yeah, just to get the monkey off your back. That's all it is.
I'm saying, as where we are as a club, that's where we are.
But in terms of like where we are and where Manchester United are at the club, it's very similar. Like in terms of where we are right now, the only difference is that Man U are able to win consistent trophies, and we're just nowhere near to be able to doing that, and we just always fall short when it really matters. So I think if we can get that monkey off our back, maybe next year, if we are in, it's not going to be everything to win the Europa League, where it will just be a really good thing to do. Absolutely,
and obviously if we win it, we'll be in Champions League. But I agree. It's obviously when you've been so long without a trophy, once you win it, it's not winning that trophy again. Is not as high a priority as the
Still
other
obviously
stuff.
A big priority.
Of course,
obviously.
It is. Trophy is always going to be a big priority when you go through a massive trophy drought like we have. Every year we talk about it. It's all we talk about. This club is obsessed with winning a trophy. It's all the fans talk about. It's seeped into the players. We can clearly see that with how they talk about winning this trophy. Winning it since the beginning of the season, they've been talking about what the goal is for the season. I want to win a trophy for these fans. I want to win a trophy. And just been talking about, you could be the guys to break the duck. That's clearly been what's been forefront of their minds, and that's because whatever you want to say, it's because of how I think a large part is how the fans have been continuously obsessed with winning that trophy.
Yeah, no, it's true, and let's hope we can get that monkey off our back on Wednesday night. What a big day, what a big occasion, and I just hope the kind of players go into it wanting it a lot more than Manchester United, because of everything that you've just said. It means so much more to this football club than it means to that football club. So I think we have to play the game like that. Basically, we need to go into it, because there's rumours are there's going to be a lot more Spurs fans than Manchester United fans. And when you're looking at the demographic of both fans, there are a hell of a lot more Manchester United than Spurs fans in England. You know what I mean? So for us to take a lot more fans to Bilbao than Manchester United, I think is very significant in itself.
And just the fact as well, we were looking at before, like if we win, we're planning to do an open top bus parade. Like United,
they're planning to do a barbecue.
They're planning or whatever. I don't know what they're planning to do, but they're not planning to do an open top bus parade. They didn't do one when they won one. In fact, they won the double under Mourinho, and I don't think they did one. Like that just goes to show the standards and the difference in the size of club and where we are. Both clubs are right now. So I think people need to realise how massive this will be for us. And I think Ange is right to put all the eggs in this basket in search for winning it. And obviously, we'll sit here, and if we've lost in the final, and he'll obviously have to go, and people will be angry at him and everything. But it doesn't change the fact it was right to do this in this situation, in my opinion.
All right. So all roads lead to Bilbao, people. It's time to get hyped for the final. Put this loss behind us. Just forget about this loss and focus on the game on Wednesday night, the one that really matters. But that is it from us, from the Instant Match Reaction. And it's time to get you guys on to have your say.
Chelsea just gone 1-0 up at Stamford Bridge.
Cucurella.
Mark Cucurella with a header.
Good header, by the way.
Good header. And they're 20 minutes away from getting that vital victory.
So what does that mean in terms of So that means Chelsea are ahead of Villa on goal difference.
It's going to go down to the wire, and if Forest win on the weekend, it's going to be on against West Ham. It's going to be a real shootout. Oh, Madueke nearly made it too. But yeah, it's going to be a shootout for in terms of a Villa win. Then it's going to be a proper shootout between Forest and Chelsea.
Yeah, crazy. We've got a super chat here from Michael Heung-min. I'm not sure if we can get that up. Yeah, we can. It says, all the momentum Poch put into the motion is at stake in this final. Bilbao, let's go. Big up Michael Heung-min. Our next guest seems to be lurking in the darkness here. Do you have a light, my friend? Do you have a light?
Show your face. There he is. Ez.
He goes by the name of Ez. How you doing, my friend?
All good, boys. How you lot doing?
Yeah, you know, going through the motions, innit? Going through the motions.
Mm-hmm.
Another defeat here, 21st defeat of the season. How are you feeling after that?
I'll be honest, mate, I don't really care. Everything is on Wednesday. It has been for a while.
Yeah.
And all the fans in the chat that was during the watch along that was sitting there saying how bad everyone was and that losing is bad against Villa. That's our B team apart from Son.
Yeah.
Anybody that expected anything different, I'm sorry, but as far as I'm concerned, they're all delusional.
No, I agree with you, to be honest, because you make 11 changes pretty much from the second leg at Bodo. We put in, you know, a decent fight in the first half. We looked really aggressive. We created a couple of openings without, you know, hurting Aston Villa too much. I thought it was going a lot better in the first half than we could have ever imagined.
100%. 100% it was. I mean, I was saying this morning, I want him to play the B team. I don't want him any of the starters, maybe apart from someone who needed the minutes. I don't want any of them playing. He did that. I think he did the right thing. The result means nothing. Today's game was the point for today was trying to get through the game with no injuries. And apart from Sarr, I feel like we did that.
What about, you know, before the game, Amorim in his press conference was saying, you know, the players need match sharpness going to the final, so we're going to go for a strong team. You can't go, you know, 10 days or 2 weeks without playing and expect to be sharp for the game. So in that context, do you agree with him, or do you think we're just in a different context to them?
I 100% agree with him, but we're Tottenham. And knowing us, we're going to end up with injuries. If he'd have played them and they'd have got injured, the fans would have been slaughtering him.
Yeah.
They haven't played him. He hasn't played the first team, and still the fans are slaughtering him. The guy can't win.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people who were in the chat were saying, where's Romero, where was Van der Ven? If Van der Ven got injured again, he would have been, oh my God, he would have been ripped apart. He done the right thing.
Yeah.
10 days, he wrapped them up in cotton wool like he said he was going to do. Now it's time for the final. Now we need to go and do the business.
In terms of looking forward to the final, we kind of potentially got a sneak peek with Solanke and Richarlison towards the end. Do you think that's the way he's going to go?
I think so. I don't think he should, because we haven't played with a front two all season. We need to be 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1.
So who do you start?
Oh, that's a difficult one. That is a difficult one. Do you know what? I'm tempted to say put Tel there, at least for the first half.
Yeah, because it's difficult. Kulusevski goes down last week. Sarr's gone down this week, and Sarr, you know, started in that position in the last game.
Yeah.
So who the hell can you even play there? Why not Solanke just a bit deeper and Richarlison up top? Is that not the best avenue to go?
If it will work, I mean, Solanke, all he does is drop deep anyway. He never really plays in front of the stick. So yeah, I guess that could work.
So is it, in terms of what you saw today from Son, you saw enough today to think he's ready for that final? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, he got 75 minutes in his legs. Some of those passes he was doing were brilliant. A couple of the shots he had were very good. He looks like he's ready. I mean, I doubt he's going to be 100%, but he looks like he's ready to play.
Yeah, is there a fear of that same conversation coming up from 2019? If Son does start and we don't win the game, you know, why did you start Son? He's not 100% fit. The same narrative with Harry Kane back in 2019.
There always is. There always would be. But at the end of the day, if anybody's going to help us win, it's going to be him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's been here long enough to bleed Tottenham.
In terms of what you saw today, was there anyone like individually that you thought deserved some credit for, or anything in particular that you noticed?
I'm going to be honest, not really. I thought the performance was quite bad. But again, it's the B team playing against a team that's trying to qualify for the Champions League. So you got to temper expectations when it comes to that sort of thing. Especially we had 4 teenagers on the pitch,
Yeah.
4 young kids who, to be honest, I don't really think most of them are ready to be top of the league players.
Yeah.
And we saw, Mikey Moore struggled a lot today, didn't he? And there's been obviously
Yeah,
a lot of clamour for him to get more minutes. So we're seeing maybe today why he hasn't been.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I think it would have been nice to see him more throughout the season, but yeah, I do think today showed why we haven't. And I think it's probably better for him next season to get his game. He's had a little bit of experience in the league now. Next year, we're going to push on.
Yeah. Do you feel like get a loan or at Tottenham?
Nah, at Tottenham.
Yeah.
Keep him here. Keep him here where we can look after him and we can help him grow. We don't need to go anywhere else.
What are you thinking on Wednesday then? Are we got enough to get the job done?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, Man United are missing all their defenders, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're missing all their defenders. We've got Maddison and Decky out, but they're going to play Maguire and Lindelof in defence. Come on, man. We got this.
So their defence today...
So Lanky's going to body him.
Shaw, Maguire, Lindelof,
Shaw's a
Mazraoui,
left
fullback. Yeah.
Shaw's a left back. Did they play 3 at the back or 4 at the back?
3 at the back today, yeah.
Yeah, so they played a left back at centre back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I think
So you're going into it in full confidence.
I'm nervous, don't get me wrong, because, like I say, this is Tottenham and we've been burnt too many times by Tottenham over the years. But I think we got this. I think we're going to win 2-1.
2-1, come on. I'll take that all day long.
Are you going to Bilbao, Ez?
Oh, I wish, man. I wish. I couldn't get time off work for that. No way.
Where are you going to be watching the game?
I'll be watching it from home when I get in from work.
Well, make sure you call into the fan show. Aston Marlon will be in the studio on the watch along, and it's sure to be an emotional day, whichever way.
I've got some words for Ash. I'll definitely be on.
Yeah. All right. Well, you save that for Wednesday, Ez. But thank you for coming on today, my friend.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Speak to you later.
Take it easy.
Big up to Ez. Still 1-0. 10 minutes to go. Here there at Stamford Bridge. Next up,
was Steve gone? Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm not sure about letting this next guy on.
I don't know about that. I don't know about this guy.
He's on mute, isn't he? Oh no, he's back. Put that finger away and maybe we'll bring you on. Go on, bring him on.
Bring me on.
It's me. It's Kate wearing an England shirt tonight, KP. Rocking the England shirt.
Yeah, Euro 96.
Euro 96.
At least he's not wearing a red shirt. That's all I can say.
Shut up, Ben. Don't make me come there, mate.
You're welcome here, mate. You're welcome here.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and lads, I'm going to say I've been for the 5th time to that circus. 5th time.
Circus? What are you watching Tottenham?
No, man, I was watching my friends perform. I was watching my best friends perform. And yeah,
I thought
mate,
I was your best friend, KPV. I thought Dega was your best friend.
Wuma. Her name's Wuma Katzen. Yeah, she's an artist. She's from Australia, mate. And you'll see
How does she perform?
She a fan of Big Ange?
Yeah, she is. And I'm not a fan of Kylie Minogue, so I couldn't give a damn about her music. They called me her years ago, and I'm not a lady from Australia, so I like Australian. I only like my friend who I saw, so fair enough. And yeah, 5 times, and I will go again soon. Don't you worry, people. I follow them on Facebook. They just posted something, so anyone who hasn't been to that circus, I recommend you go. And go. They're in Woodbridge until Sunday. So anyone who's here in the UK, go all the way to Woodbridge. They're doing one again tomorrow, 6 till 8. So anyone in this chat,
are they paying you for this promotion, KPV?
The Russell's International Circus, I got a concession, mate. Tickets were only £9, and I was sitting in the same end, like the grandstand. You can watch, and I high-fived every single person, mate. Because yeah,
KPV, what about the game today, mate?
I don't want to talk about it, man, because I knew it was going to get slapped anyway. Because the league's done. Like, we're not going to finish anywhere, but whatever. But concentrate on Wednesday, man. That's all that matters. I knew we was going to lose, and Konza, of all people, scoring, and Matty Cash getting booed. Good, because he's ended Doherty's career 3 years ago, and he done it to Bentancur last season. So he knows about ending our players' careers. So fuck the Polish guy, mate. Like, Poland ain't won nothing. So he can't even get in the team. And yeah, so I don't
Well,
like
what's
him.
our team going to be on Wednesday, KPV?
Venom in goal, obviously. Big Vic, Venom. And yeah, and centre backs, Romero, Van der Ven, and Pedro Porro, and Adogi, and the midfield. Like, I heard Decky's out, and now he is. Like, Madders is out, and I heard there's a chance Bergvall could start.
What do you reckon? Is Bergvall going to make it?
I hope so, because we need some creativity, and we're missing that. Like, who's going to play there? Like, anyone, name me a player who can play there. No one can. Like, front three, I'd probably say Brennan, because he's got more goals this season for us than any other player. And Son has won goal of the season again for that stunning goal against United from a corner. And yeah, last year. So brilliant. Welcome back, Captain. But do not start. I'm sorry. Do not start, kid, because he should not be starting. Like, yeah, you need your captain to start, but nah, I don't want Ange doing what Poch did. You start Kane in the final, and he wasn't 100% fit. Should have been Lucas, but we should have kept Musa Dembele for the final. Then we would have won it, and we should have worn that green kit in that Champions League final because there's just something special about these green kits. And yeah, what can I say? But
Score prediction, KPV, for Wednesday?
Wednesday, yeah. Prediction. Like, I say 3-0 because
3-0.
3-0, mate. We done them at Old Trafford. Van der Ven's going to run past their defence again, as he did at Old Trafford. Run past their whole defence, and Brennan's going to slot it in, and Solanke against United. So I say Brennan Johnson, Solanke, and Porro. So 3-0 and champion of Europe. Them
All
Arsenal
right.
fans can chat
the
shit all
mud.
they want. Robbie needs to keep his mouth shut. I've seen
Keep
the
his gob
videos.
quiet, that's right.
Yeah, so everyone, I'm off. I'm not going to mention the 3 players the commentator said, so I'm off. But I'm not going to be on here Wednesday because I'm not going to come on because I know it's going to be Ash and Marlon, so I'm not going to be on because I'll be celebrating at full time and I'll probably be tired anyway. So, but I'll see you all next weekend on the fan show. I know you're probably going to be at the game against Brighton. And also, boys, I'm going to Wembley, England women v Portugal. So, yeah.
Make sure you wear that England kit to the game, KPV.
Yeah, man, because I am. And then it's the Champions League final, Inter PSG, and I'm going for Inter because 2 Italy goalkeepers are in the final. Sorry, Donnarumma, but it has to be Inter. Sorry, kid. Inter win because I've got a mate who supports Inter. So come on, Inter, and come on,
All right,
Tottenham.
nice one, KPV.
Yeah,
Good to
boys.
see you, mate.
Look
Laters.
out. Daigle in.
Daigle
Well,
in and straight
Well, it's
in.
funny you should say that, Daigle in, because here he is.
I am.
Brian
Listen,
Daigle in the house. No exerting yourself, Daigle.
Fresh
no,
from his operation.
no
mate.
vein
First-
poppings.
First and foremost, Daigle, how are you, my friend?
in a lot of discomfort. I've got stents and spikes keeping my nose in shape. Very hard to breathe. And apparently says we never stop. Well, people will know me coming on We Are Tottenham TV and speaking to you lads will never stop.
Come on.
I'm sticking to that. But I don't know how I follow KPV with talk of Circus and Kylie Minogue. I don't know I don't know what we do. But how are you guys?
Yeah, you know what it is. Going through the motions with these league games right now. 21 league defeats, but the one that really matters is on Wednesday. I mean, were you surprised at all by anything you saw today?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just waiting for the Ange excuse. I think I've nailed what the excuse is going to be when Miles does the interview and says, so 21 defeats. What do you reckon the reason was, Ange? I reckon he's going to come out with what I thought was a Friday night game and the sun was out and it was daylight. We were expecting a Friday night game under the lights. That will be an excuse he hasn't pulled out the bag yet. Mate, listen, there's no way to put lipstick on a pig. 21 defeats in 37 games, 38 points from 37 games. It is totally and utterly unacceptable.
Yeah.
Take Wednesday out of the equation. Woohoo, we're going to a final. Well done, brilliant. We're all looking forward to that. That does not excuse the shit show that we have had to endure from August to May. It's lipstick on a pig, and today was just... It has become the norm now to just go, do you know what, it don't matter. This is where we are as a club now. It doesn't matter. At least we gave it a go.
Brian, do you feel that it's important to kind of not forget about it, but kind of to put it to one side just for now because the final is so close? All of us to go together into that cup final, and then the inquest can start when the season finishes.
Well, that's exactly what we did for the Champions League final, wasn't it? And we're in a good spot. It just doesn't matter.
Wait. So Brian, do you think it was wrong for him to rest so many players today?
No. What I did want to see, what I personally did want to see, is I did want to see some more players get minutes. Not saying like half a game or whatever, but if we look at it, when we lost to Liverpool in the Champions League final, there were 3 weeks between the final and the last game of the season. And one of the reasons we were saying, there's too big of a gap, the players stopped, lost momentum, blah, blah, blah. Well, since we got to the final, hardly any of the first team has had a single minute. So, all right, they're going to be refreshed and replenished and energy levels high, but they've had no game time.
Well, today you had Solanke, Richarlison, Son, Bentancur, Basuma.
Yeah, near the end. Near the end. So yeah, fine.
How much do you want them to have?
Mate, listen, I don't think it matters. We're in such a shit show of a state. Don't think any of it matters. I just can't wait for the next, what is it now, till next Sunday. The 9 days can't come quick enough. Get this season over and done with. What will be, will be. We'll move on, and we can just forget this horror shit show of a season.
But we'll never forget this season if we win the trophy on Wednesday.
That all right? You got to be. I will agree with you there. That part there, but that will be. Look, you got to look at it. Manchester United are going around saying if they win this tournament, this doesn't make up for the shit show of the season. Whereas we are, if we win this, this makes up for everything.
But Brian, you were one of the ones coming into this season saying you would take 17th.
I did.
And a trophy.
I did, mate. I did. But mate, do you know what it is, Ben? And I'll stand by it. But what I would have thought with this is at a bit of higher level of standard of performance.
What do you think finishing 17th looks like?
Mate, losing 21 games
would have you in 17th. Yeah.
Also, having a manager that has seen that he can play more pragmatic in Europe, and now when he has to. There was a super chat you read out from someone during the watch along, or a members chat, where someone said, I don't know if he's watching right now, but he said along the lines with, if he had played this kind of style when players were fit and not heavily overused players, maybe some of those 1-goal defeats, the 1-goal trophy, may not have been 1-goal defeats.
Yeah.
There's ways of doing this. Even the teams that I supported and had my season ticket throughout the 90s, where we finished between 14th and 8th, the one thing I never doubted was their commitment on the pitch. And we had injuries then. We didn't have the high calibre of players always that we have now. Didn't have as many substitutions as you can make now. But I never left White Hart Lane and thought, do you know what? The players didn't give everything. Do you know what? Those players weren't playing. Not once. But we knew that was our standard.
You probably have a short memory. I think there's plenty of times people used to say that about all our teams back in the day.
Mate, I don't have a short memory, mate. I saw, like I said, when I came on after we lost to Bournemouth, players like Colin Caldwell, Paul Allen, David Howe, Steve Sedgley, Guy Butters, Justin Edinburgh, the late great Dean Austin. I can go on. Weren't as talented as this lot. I never doubted their commitment. I never doubted their fight for the badge. And also, if they were in a final, those teams would play their asses off to try and force the manager's hand and play their way into a final. That was the mentality of the club. We're in a final. Let's try and get I'm a starter in that final. Let's give the manager something to think about. These players don't care. They just walk around, pick up their paycheck, off they go.
Do you not think they were fighting a bit in the first half? I mean, it kind of fell flat in the second half, but first half I thought, there was a bit of an aggressive edge.
But then what happens when we need to put in a performance for longer than one half? Like Conte said when we were second half Tottenham.
Yeah.
Like I said, Crystal Palace played full team. They're going into a final. Manchester United, yeah, they're losing. They're going full strength. They're probably testing things out for Thursday. Wednesday. What have we learned for Wednesday?
Yeah.
The first team playing, if they don't play well, we're fucked. It's
in terms of personnel going into Wednesday. Did Son do enough to you to start for Wednesday?
I think he has to.
Yeah.
I think he did look sharper. He did look like there's a couple of opportunities where, especially early, where a fit on fire Son would have taken a shot early and would have got it on target and possibly would have scored. He was a little bit a yard short of pace, but he did look lively when he was on the ball. And he had
he was a yard short of pace.
No, at the beginning, on the one shot he had when he didn't take the shot early. But then he did that traditional Son cut in and put in that curler that just went over. And that's the Sonny we know. That's the Sonny that we love. And if that Sonny turns up, I think you've got to start him. I think you have to start Sonny. He's the captain. And we need our big players to turn up. And he is the number one player that we need to turn up if we have a chance in this. And I think he's done enough to definitely start.
And in terms of the 10 and the 9, are you in agreement with me and Sim that it should be Solanke with Richarlison?
What'd you say? The 9 and the 10, sorry. So one of them just... Yeah, you could try. I mean, the only other thing... Odegaard looked a little bit bright to start off with. I don't mind seeing Odegaard in the 10. But again, is there enough to say he could do it on the grand stage? But I think... Those two have looked good in the European games, haven't they? Especially Richarlison in the first one, and then Solanke in the second leg getting that vital goal. And Solanke has turned up, yes, a penalty and that tapping, but he has turned up with vital goals. So I think you got to. I think you're right. I think I would agree with you too.
So what's your kind of nerves and feeling going into Wednesday? Any sort of confidence about you? You think we can get the job done?
Next question.
What's the plan to watch it in the yard?
Oh, mate, the yard, the Scotland yard is absolutely fully booked. Standing room only. We actually they've got a sister pub next to it, which is only a mini pub. We've had to open that. That's fully booked. There's standing, people are starting to, we've told people the pub opens at 12. People are starting to queue for the standing room only at 9 a.m. It's going to be absolutely heaving in there. And Cody Mack's going to be with me, so it's going to be good.
Lovely, lovely. You're going to be calling into the fan show after that game?
Yeah, I would imagine so. I've got a lot of people's security detail because people cannot run in and celebrate and crash into my nose because there'll be claret everywhere and I won't be happy. But I can't miss a final. I can't miss a final at the yard, sir. You guys have a wonderful trip to Bilbao. I hope it's a magnificent one. I really hope we are all celebrating as one as a fan base because the trophy drought is over. Then we just get through this season and then piss off Ange and let's go through the 85th rebuild.
Absolutely. Let's bring it on, Daigle. Bring it
Let's
on.
let's bring it on. We'll all be here
you
for
got
it,
the
won't we?
stomach for another rebuild, Brian?
Mate, listen, we're Tottenham till we die, don't we? Listen, I will say I think that this experiment and rebuild we're currently gone through has probably set us back 4 rebuilds. So we're in a lot more trouble than we have at the start of any other rebuild. But listen, regardless of what people may think of me or my views and what I think of other, we are all Tottenham at heart. We all love this football club. We all want glory for this football club. How we get there is where we are obviously very, very opinionated, no matter whether it be the board, the ownership, the players, the stuff, whatever it may be. But we all love this football club and we want it to do well. And let's just hope Wednesday, we can have a reason to celebrate.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. So I want to wish you a speedy recovery.
Cheers, brothers.
Hopefully you get that bandage off your nose pretty soon and get back
Thursday.
to normal. Thursday.
I've got to go have the stents ripped out. Ben, I'll tell you one thing, I'm really going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm sure you will, mate. I'm sure you will. Let's hope you're enjoying it with a trophy as well.
Let's
But
hope
there
so,
you go.
buddy. Guys, have a good one. See you later on.
Thanks for
See
coming
ya,
on,
Brian.
mate. We'll speak to you
See you
soon.
later, lads.
Big up to Daigle. Next up is Steve.
Steve, he's back.
Yes, Steve. How you doing, my friend?
Oh, you're on mute, mate.
Hi.
Hi, Steve. Thanks for calling in,
All
mate.
right. No worries.
Yeah, well, look, it was another poor display today, wasn't it, Steve? Another poor performance, poor result. Well, what do you take away from what you've seen, considering we made 11 changes, we've got a massive cup final on Wednesday? When you see something like that, what do you think we learned from today?
I thought the first half wasn't bad. I was quite surprised by the first half, to be honest with you, because I thought we were going to be like 5-0 down at half time the way we've been playing recently. But I thought the first half was good. Second half, I think we were just going through the motions, really just trying not to get any more injuries, really. So, do you know
we
any
did.
updates from Sai yet?
No update, but
Yeah,
it did
there's
look
a
like...
bit of an update.
Oh, there is there?
He said Pape felt something in his back. We don't think it's anything significant, having spoken to him, but we'll see.
How many times have we heard those lines
So we'll see
from
him in
Ange
the new year.
Postecoglou? So basically, he's out for the next 3 months.
Yeah, we'll start on the operating table tomorrow, then.
Yeah, exactly. You can't make this up with Tottenham Hotspur. You know, we do our best not to get injuries. Kulusevski goes down last week. Sarr goes down in this game. It always seems to be in the same position at the same time, doesn't it, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, it's always midfield, isn't it? So earlier in the season it was goalkeeper, defence, and now it seems to be the midfield now, doesn't it? So we just can't catch a break, can we?
No, we can't.
But, I'm just hoping on Wednesday we can just get over that line. Do you know what I mean? Badly need to win a trophy. I know the season's been rubbish. 21 defeats is not acceptable, you know, for any team, especially Tottenham Hotspur. But just need to get over that line on Wednesday and win that trophy, and then just play the last game of the season and see what happens in the summer.
Yeah.
So,
do you have confidence that we can go to Bilbao and get the job done?
Yeah, because I've seen enough in the Europa League to think we can do it. You know, our performance in the Europa League have been completely different to what our league form has been. If you think of like the Frankfurt game, for example, you know, we've gone there and we've got a result, and then like Bodo as well, they're bigging themselves up and we got a result there. So I think we've seen enough in the Europa League to think we can win it. So so you guys definitely going out there then?
Yeah, you bet. I'm going out on Monday, going to France, and then on Tuesday driving to Bilbao. Sim's going, I think, via Malaga on Tuesday. What about you? Are you going out there? If not, where are you watching it?
No, I'm not going out there. I'm going to be at the stadium though.
Oh, lovely. I heard they finally put on the screens on the pitch.
Yeah, which is good. Which is by the time when I booked my tickets, they hadn't said they were going to do that. So I thought, what's going to be the best place to watch the big screens in the corners, bro?
Were you? Is that where you watched it in 2019?
No, I didn't actually. No, I watched it at home. So
Okay.
I watched it at home, but yeah, I'm going with my son and a couple of mates. Do you know what I mean? So I
Lovely.
want to experience like a trophy lift with my son if possible.
How old's your son?
22, nearly.
Oh, wow.
He was what 2008. He was really young. So I mean, I've already seen 3 trophies in my lifetime as a Spurs fan. So you know, it's yeah, we just desperately need to win that trophy.
And it just means a lot more to us as a club, doesn't it, than Manchester United. Now, Man U fans have seen it all before, heard it all before. They're saying that Spurs are going to outnumber Man United fans out in Bilbao. That just shows to you how much it means to this football club, doesn't it?
Definitely, and like if the fans wouldn't be going out there if they weren't confident. Do you know what I mean? That many fans travelling to Bilbao to be part of it and experience it like in 2019, because it was anything like 2019 that was just fantastic build up to that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's why I want to go to the stadium. You know what I mean? I know it's probably not going to be the same, but hopefully the atmosphere is going to be great, and the scenes afterwards, if we lift that trophy, will be fantastic as well, and then we can go celebrate that parade.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
you're going to be at the parade if we win?
I hope so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really want to be, because when is it going to happen again?
Friday.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, right.
No,
Sorry.
I know it's, but like us winning a trophy. or
Yeah,
having a
absolutely.
trophy.
Next season, mate. Next season. It's gonna start. This season is going to be the start of it all.
Yeah, but I mean, look at Leicester City. They nearly get relegated one season, and then they went and won the league. I'm not saying we're going to win the league,
And a
but
few years later, won the FA Cup.
yeah, do you know what I mean? And they won the Premier League. So I don't know. So are you still Ange in or Ange out?
For me, right at this moment in time, I am the most Ange in I've ever been.
Right.
Ask me the question after Wednesday, and you might get a different answer, regardless of the trophy win or not.
But I mean, do you think if he, like a lot of people said, if we win the trophy, what happens with him? Do you just say thanks very much and see you later, or?
I think so. That would be my kind of opinion on it. I think that at the end of the season, we probably need to change regardless. But I think right now, at this moment in time, we all need to get behind him. We all need to completely support him, and we all need to go into that final all together.
Yeah, because you see the semi-final. Do you know what I mean? The atmosphere in the stadium, and things like that. How everybody was together, and we need more of that. Yes, again, like the team haven't performed in the league this season, and it's not acceptable. But if we could, like I said, we can lift that trophy on Wednesday, or just we can just like forget about it, and then see what happens in the summer. You know what I mean? Park it.
Yeah.
We've got one league game left, so
Just imagine the summer, Steve. Spurs lift the trophy. Newcastle have won a trophy this season. One of Man City or Crystal Palace. Liverpool have won the league. Chelsea probably going to win the Conference League. Let's say Spurs win the Europa League. Pretty much everyone in the top 6, 7, 8 have won a trophy, except for one small little club sitting in second place who might even finish in third place. It'll be a good summer, won't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I know like there's been a lot of talk about Man United and Spurs shouldn't get Champions League and stuff, but how is that anything to do with us? That's the rules. We managed to get to the final. I think it's been better the competition this year, because obviously the Champions League clubs haven't dropped down, which I've never agreed with, because you're fighting for one trophy, and then the Champions League clubs who finish in third come down and have a chance of winning, like taking over and winning that trophy. I never thought that was a fair rule, so I'm glad that doesn't happen anymore.
Exactly.
And it's just proved that we've got to a final, but I mean we've got to a semi-final of a cup competition this season and a final. So there has been some positives this season, but like I say, league form, not good enough. But do you know what? Forget about today now. Today's done. I'm just going to build up to Wednesday. Go down to the stadium, soak up the atmosphere, and hopefully we have a good night and we lift that trophy, and then go to that trophy parade on Friday. So will you guys be back in time?
Yeah, we'll be back in time. You don't worry about that.
Make sure we're back in time, that's for sure.
I'll swim if I have to get there.
But do you know what I mean, though? Because have you ever been to a trophy parade before?
Never.
in
The
my
only
life.
trophy...
We didn't do one for 2008, did we?
Nah. The only trophies I can remember is 99 and 2008, and we didn't do one for that.
Why didn't we do one in 2008? Newcastle did for a Carabao.
Yeah, I think we feel like we're bigger than Newcastle.
Still, it's a big trophy. Was it? I don't know actually how long was the trophy drought back
I
then?
don't know. Did we do one for
9
the
years.
FA Cup in '91? A parade?
Yes, you did. Yeah, there
Yeah.
was one because you've got pictures of Justin Edinburgh because they showed
Oh,
quite
that's
a lot
right, yeah.
of Edinburgh passed away, didn't they? They said
Yeah.
they showed like pictures and David Howells going rabbit.
Well, to be fair, back in 08, we were still, even though the trophy drought then was between 99 and 08, we were still kind of known as like a cup team. But now it's like 16 years. It's like ridiculous.
Do you think if we won the Carabao Cup this year, we'd do a parade?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we
I
would.
think we would have. I think we would have.
Anyway, Steve, always a pleasure to have you on, my friend.
Cheers, guys. Safe journey over there. Enjoy yourselves. And I just want to wish Brian a speedy recovery as well. So, but like I say, have a great time. Enjoy yourselves, and let's lift that trophy and come on, you Spurs.
Absolutely, and enjoy the stadium, mate. And
I will
come
do.
back. Don't come back with any voice, Steve. I don't want to hear no voice on the fan show. Just
I was sat in the West Stand and I put the premium seats right, and they're only 20 quid each.
yeah.
So I'm like, do you know, I'm going to sit in comfort and watch it, guys.
Enjoy it, mate. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I will do, guys. You take care, enjoy yourselves, yeah, and come on, you Spurs.
Up the Spurs. Come on. Big up to Steve. Let's move on to Mark.
Hi guys.
How you
Hey,
doing,
Mark.
Mark, mate? You all right?
I'm at this point where I'm just kind of getting burnt out from watching all the losses in the Premier League, and it's like I'm okay with
Surprised
us losing.
it took you this long, Mark.
I mean, I've been getting to that point, but like it's also because I've been a fan of other teams, and I'm kind of used to it. I'm used to Chicago sports of us losing, and I like, it's like it's all around sports wise for me. It's just been
Yeah, I was about to say fan of other teams. That's not allowed here at Tottenham Hotspur.
well, other sports,
Yeah,
well.
okay, other sports. We'll let you. We'll give you a pass on that one then.
But yeah, just it's been terrible. It honestly just shows how much we have no desire. Like the desire, like I saw that we wanted to at least a little bit that we wanted to win in the first half, but then second half they look like people that I played high school with, in high school, and they were just all frozen and stuff. They're just like they just looked like garbage. They just looked terrible. I feel like a high school team within my area could beat them. Like that's how it felt. Like they felt like they didn't care. Like they didn't even want to be there.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you make that many changes, and especially we have 4 teenagers starting, 11 changes from the team that played against Bodo, big cup final game on Wednesday, which everyone is clearly geared towards. Everyone's clearly got their mind on. I mean, what do you really expect going into today's game?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect much, but at least look like you want to win.
In the first half, would you say at times we did look like that?
I mean, we did, yeah, but like at the end there, like especially in the second half, just they didn't look like they wanted to win. They just looked annoyed and frustrated. Like, why do we have to be here?
Yeah. But the reality is, though, if we go out and do the business on Wednesday night, nobody's going to care about this game against Aston Villa.
Oh yeah. That would cure my burnout. Yeah.
Exactly, and you'll be raring to go and stick it to all the gooners that live anywhere near you.
Oh yeah. Something I can say, just just stick it to them for sure. I know a couple. So I could just text them all and say, "Look, guys, we got a trophy. You guys don't." So
we can all get behind that. Have you made up your mind for your lineup for Wednesday?
It's kind of a tough one to call. I do think Dom would probably look best in the number 10 position, just because of his hold up play and in the physical nature of his play. I'm just really hoping that we can maybe somehow get us some sort of miracle and have one of our injured players like Bergvall, like hopefully, at least have minutes. I don't care that he plays the whole time. At least he gets minutes where he can make some sort of a difference, because it shows how much we've been dependent on the midfield for so long. It just shows how much we've been depending on them, basically.
Yeah, but I think it might look, as much as we're going to miss that creativity for sure, and it's a massive blow, I'm hoping if you kind of put Dom and Richarlison there, you just get Porro and Son just to swing balls into them. Maybe it can just go a little way to kind of compensating a bit for it.
Yeah, I think the number 10 for sure is he's going to have to, since it's basically two strikers, they have to play like two strikers, but just one's just deep and one's very advanced forward. So I think it is a good idea to put Dom. I think Dom, with his physicality, just to get it over, since I don't think he's been doing the job as a striker that I would prefer for a striker. I think it would fit him just fine. I just wonder how they're going to, how the synergy will be around the team come Wednesday, because I think he would have to be the fulcrum. Dom would have to be the fulcrum of the attack from the center.
And on the left-hand side, Sonny obviously played a significant part of the game today. Do you feel like he's, did you see enough from him today to say, you know what, I'm ready for the final?
I think we're going to have to put him in on the left-hand side anyway to start, because of his experience anyway. He knows what it feels like to go in a final. His experience is we're going to need to lean on, especially to keep ourselves composed. Because I would say, I think out of everybody, he's the most experienced in every level that we've seen internationally and domestically. I would just have him there just due to his experience. And we just got to trust him, I think, at this point, and we hope that he could deliver.
Did you see anything from that performance today from you that suggests that you think he can?
I don't know. I mean, I can tell, like, he's just mentally, he's just not there really. Like, he tries to string stuff along, but you could tell, like, it's just like the fact that he can't just, that he hasn't been able to score as easily as he would have, and the fact that he has to work so hard to have no fruit. I could just tell, like, he's just like, what am I doing here? And I could tell that it's just like so demoralizing. But I think with his work rate as it is, I think we're just gonna have to, because I mean, who else do we really have?
We got Tell, Odebear.
Well, I would put Odebear on the other side, on the right hand side, in my opinion, and then have Brennan come in after and be a sub.
I don't think you can leave Brennan Johnson out of the team. First of all, I think in both second legs, out in Frankfurt, out in Bodo, the defensive work that he did was invaluable to the team. And second of all, just his knack of popping up with goals. I mean, in a final, that can be really invaluable. So I think Brennan Johnson has to start, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's either him or Odebear, and I think they're going to take care of the right-hand side, whether or not who starts first and who gets replaced later is for me up to debate. But I think Son has to be on the left-hand side and Richarlison in the center, and Dom has to be in the number 10 for sure.
Where are you watching it? Is there a big gathering? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Illinois. I'm actually going to be traveling from the southern tip of Illinois, where my university is back home. So I'm going to watch it at home with.
Where's home?
With my sister.
Where's home? Oh, to the
my home is
Illinois.
In the Chicagoland area. So.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what's your score prediction?
Well, my hope is that it's probably going to be either most likely a 2-1, and I'm hoping that it is for us. I don't think it's going to be going to be it's going to be a very hard fight for both sides, and I think it's going to be one of those of who wants it more and who stays composed, because I feel like for me, you know, whoever cracks first is going to be the one who loses.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree with that, to be fair. But let's just hope, let's just pray that Spurs can get the job done. But Mark, thank you very much for calling in today, mate.
Cheers, Mark.
Thank you. Later.
Do you feel like there's something in the air with trophies this year? Like Newcastle breaking their duck, Bologna, Kane winning a trophy, Palace potentially winning their first ever trophy as well. Like it's something in the PSG potentially winning their first ever Champions League. There's something in the air this year.
You know
something
that
in the
whenever
air.
these things go, they don't go for Tottenham Hotspur.
There's something in the air this year.
But I think Spurs, I think we're going to get the job done. I really do.
There's something in the air with trophies. Everyone's breaking their ducks.
Yeah.
Come on.
Apart from Arsenal.
Follow suit. Apart from Arsenal.
Let's go on to David.
Hello, David.
Hey, Ben.
Hey,
Sim.
How you doing,
David,
boys?
nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you.
We're doing all right. You know, going through the motions. We're just delighted that that's the last game that we had to sit through before the big one on Wednesday. But how did you cope through that one?
Well, actually, I wasn't going to come on the chat today, but I had to come on because Brian threw his toys out of the cot. So I thought I'd better come on and provide a balance on the other side rather than everything being...
In the UK, we say throw the toys out the pram. That's what we say here in the UK.
There you go. Yeah. So maybe it's the cold weather in Canada is affecting him. I don't know. But I think, there's two sides to this. And you can't just ignore the fact that, we certainly are in the final, and I think we're going to win the final, personally. And you can't just say, well, that doesn't matter because we had a bad league season. Yeah, it does matter. I might as well just say, well, let's completely ignore the league season as well. We'll only focus on the Europa side. So I kind of came on to balance that. But also, I want to thank you guys. A few times I haven't been able to watch the game, and when I can't do that, I listen to your watch-alongs, which you do a great job of providing an image of what's going on. So thank you for that to WeAreTottenhamTV for that as well.
Thank you, David. Appreciate that.
Thank you for the kind words. But I would say that as much as you can't ignore the final with the bad season, you also can't ignore the bad season with the final, right? It's got to work both ways.
100%. You've got to. Well, that's the thing. You've got to take both into account. But Brian was throwing away the final that's about to happen. It's like, dude, come on. I think you got to remember both, because as much as Ange failed in the league for various reasons, and he'll give you his reasons / excuses, he also got us to a semi-final and a final in the cups this year, and potentially winning the cup. So it's highs and lows. It's not even, but you got to give him credit for that as much as the other half of it. Yeah. And also, I wanted to talk about the Ten Hag situation, because Ten Hag won the FA Cup last year with Man United and everything. Should have been sacked, but it's a little bit different. I think. I feel like the players are still on Ange's side. See, Ten Hag had lost the dressing room, so even though he won a cup, he'd already lost the dressing room, I think. Whereas Ange hasn't. He doesn't seem to. The players still seem to be fighting for him. So I think it's a slightly different situation to Ten Hag, I guess, for me.
But I guess you'd say the players are fighting for him, but it's still losing week in, week out in the Premier League. So, I mean...
yes. But it's worse when you're losing, because then they don't believe in the manager. I think they believe in the manager. It just highlights, I know Tottenham like to change managers every 2 years, but the reality is our B team is not up to scratch. And the problem with when we win on Thursday at Australian time. Oh, by the way, I haven't got any pants on because I came out of bed. Apologies for that.
We didn't know, but now we do. You didn't
need to let us know that, mate. Too much information, mate.
Don't picture it. You'll be right.
We didn't need to. We couldn't see.
So yeah, when we win on Wednesday, I think that I lost my train of thought now. I threw myself
I
off.
think we've all lost our train of thought, mate. Everyone in the comments as well.
By the way,
Just don't
I was
stand
really
up
happy to see
wherever you're
Sonny.
doing. Don't stand up.
Yeah, I won't. I was really happy to see Sonny out there today. He was looking sharp. I mean, his passes were off because he struggles sometimes with passing, but his speed was back. I think he's been struggling with his foot for a couple of months, and we just didn't know because he was back up to speed again. So I was really happy with how he was playing, and I'm excited to see him play on Thursday morning here, which is great. And I think one of the things we don't talk about much is Johnson plays well with Son. Son needs Johnson, and Johnson needs Son. That's a good partnership. We don't have enough partnerships. See, Dom's a good player, but he hasn't found a partner to work with yet. I like his work rate, I like what he's doing, but he hasn't kind of found that link yet. Sonny and Johnson work really well together, and if one of them is off, we don't score as many goals.
I do agree with that because Sonny, he provides great delivery into the box, and Johnson is great at getting into those positions and putting the ball in the back of the net. But is that settled the team for you after seeing the game today? Sonny out on the left. Who plays in the number 10?
Yeah, I think you guys called it exactly right at the beginning of this match reaction. Dom, I think that's the way the team you described. I reckon that's 100% what it's going to be. I'd be surprised if we did anything else because Odebear and Tell didn't show enough today to start.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and if we do play that team, how do we compensate for the lack of Maddison, Decky, and Bergvall? How do we go about that? Having Solanke there, would we still have enough to break down a Man United side who are probably going to be playing 3 at the back and try and catching us out on the break?
Yeah, look, I mean, Solanke can certainly do it. He hasn't been doing it recently, but for the first half of the season this year, we were seeing Solanke twisting and turning and getting out of positions constantly. The last couple of months, he hasn't been doing that so much. And I don't quite know what's happening with Dom there. I mean, he's still working hard and doing a good job, but for some reason, he's lost that ability to get out of, really close marking that he had early on in the season. So it's in him. Whether he can produce it on Thursday morning, I don't know. But I think he's our best shot.
Where are you watching the game? Is there a big screening out in Australia, or are you just going to be watching it from home?
Nah, it's going to be like 5 o'clock in the morning here.
5 in the
closed.
morning. Wow.
I'll be watching it from bed. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing with when you're on the other side of the world. Like it sucks not being able to go to the stadium, but being an international fan, we got to put in the hard yards. We're waking up every game is like 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock or it's and you're going to work and you're not really thinking at work, but you don't care. So
you definitely won't care on Thursday if we lift that trophy.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I think we've got a good team. I mean, not tonight, but we didn't need it tonight. Sonny was looking really good. I think we got a very, very good chance of winning this. Unfortunately, I think it's only going to be 2-1.
No one seems to be scared of this final.
Brian,
no, but I think it's going to be 2-1 because we do tend to let in goals, and we don't have the creativity that we normally have. So I think it's going to be tighter than I would have liked. But
yeah. Look, Spurs can't let you do things without a heartache and without a panic and without a heart attack. So as long as we lift that trophy, that's all that matters at the end of the day. What's your score prediction?
Yeah, 2-1, unfortunately. I'd like to say 3-0, but I think it's going to be 2-1.
Look, there's nothing unfortunate. It's only unfortunate if you're saying it's 2-1 to Manchester United.
No, 2-1 to us, but Vicky's going to let in a goal from a corner because we can't not do that. And then I think we can score 2 goals. So.
All right, big up, David. Thanks for calling in today, my friend.
Yeah, thanks, boys.
See you later.
See you later.
And I hope is he going to be watching the final with pants on or without pants on? We'll have to wait and see.
Mystery will be revealed.
Let's go to Manny.
Manny, my guy. Yes, good to see you, Manny.
I just realised the last time we had the interview, I called you Sai for the entire 10-minute.
Sai, you know what? You're not the only person who's ever called me Sai. Don't worry. You're not the first person. You won't be the last person. Some people have called me Sai, but I'm doing all right. Wasn't the best game, was it today? Another defeat, another game where we you just want to forget a ball. You want to get out of your mind, don't you?
Like every other game in the Premier League that we've seen for the last month or two.
Yeah,
The whole season, to be fair.
Basically, I mean, when I was tuned in, I think I had about 10 different devices today, tuning into every single person I could to try and see what everyone thought about the lineup. And I think the consensus was quite the same, isn't it? Because as soon as you saw the lineup, you thought, my goodness, this could be a battering.
Yeah.
But I think after watching the first 45 minutes, I was actually quite pleasantly surprised. I thought, wow, for once he's actually playing a mid to low block in the Premier League, which I couldn't believe it, and we were waiting on them to try and bring the ball over, and then we were trying to hit them on a counter. But then they went on a break, came back. I think we're under pressure for quite long spells in, I think, the first 15 of the second half. And then once the goal went in, they just all deflated. I think it's such a shame because I actually thought this was their chance to stake a claim to try and be, well, I suppose not all of them, but certain players, like Odobert, as an example, because he played in the 10. I thought, come on, son, come on. You've got flair. You've got a low center of gravity. Stake your claim. Like show us why you should be playing there. But I don't think he did enough, because I was actually wanting him to do that. But I don't think he did enough. I think good signs, positives, maybe Kinski. Probably Kinski, Odobert, touch and go. Son looked very sharp. So I was quite happy with that. But yeah, I don't know. What did you guys think?
I think when you're talking about Sonny, we kind of needed. I don't think it was an unbelievable performance from him, but what we saw in the first half was how effective he can potentially be on the counter attack. I thought maybe the last ball was lacking a little bit, but his turn of pace was a delight for me to see, to be honest. And we need him to be in that sort of mode and that sort of freshness if we're going to get anything out of this game, because he's the difference maker, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think during the first half, he had this ball which he went through on goal, and he looked up to his right to see whether I think Mikey Moore was the guy who wasn't on the right, and he looked right to see whether he could just pass it over to him, but Mikey Moore was not quick enough. If that had been Johnson, even though I've been bashing Johnson for ages, he would have been there. And I think sometimes that's what you get from an experienced player, I guess. But yeah, definitely. I think Son has to start, to be completely honest. He played how many minutes today? 80 minutes, is it?
75, 70?
Yeah, around 70 to 80 minutes.
Yeah, he's got not only the sharpness, but he's also got the experience, I think. I mean, I've not been bashing Tell a lot, but I just don't see enough. What do you guys think of him? Is it age? I don't know. I don't see enough to think, especially with our limited budget every single summer, for us to actually go in for him. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great performance again today from Tell, it's fair to say. I think obviously he was playing up front for a lot of it. Didn't really impact the game too much, apart from there was one nice link up between him and Odobert in that first half.
Yeah.
Apart from that, was poor. Moved over to the left for the last 15 minutes. Had a few chances to take his man on and do a few things, and failed at it, to be honest. And Matt Cash kind of dealt with him fairly comfortably. So I don't think he did his chances of getting a permanent move well. Obviously, he scores a winner in a final, could all change. But I think at the moment, the jury's definitely out, I think. And definitely in terms of spending the money talked about. If there anything, it's going to be a big, it'll have to be a, what do you call it? If anything, it's going to have to be a renegotiated fee.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I've already heard that they said they were going to negotiate the fee, by the way, down to I think about 30 million. Um, I would say it's probably a good punt to make. My problem is when with knowing our recruitment team and our budget, that punt ends up being the marquee signing. So that I think that's my issue at the moment.
In terms of the question mark for Wednesday, who starts in the 10? Who starts for you?
So in previous videos I've said Odobert, right? Someone, I can't remember who it was. I actually think it was Box Office. He suggested Solanke. I think he's gonna go for Solanke.
You know what?
I
I've
think
been saying Solanke all the time, but now box office has said it. It can't be right because he's always wrong.
I think looking at the changes he made, he brought on Solanke, put Tel on the left, brought on Richie, put Solanke on the 10. Yeah, I think hello?
Yeah, we're here.
Hello?
Can you not hear
Manny?
us?
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, what happened
This
to
happened to him
Manny?
last time.
Did it?
Was it him? Well, I think I can't. It wasn't him. Just
Well,
got
Manny's gone.
disconnected.
Manny's gone.
Oh, God, he's not going to be happy who his slot's going to.
Mr. Box Office. What's going on, Alex?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
We can hear
can.
you.
Oh, good, because this is coming from my phone. I'm not happy with Ange, man. I've got to be honest. He confuses me. This guy is just confusing, man. Honestly, like, what is the point? Can someone tell me what is the point having your first team on the sub bench, right? Saying that you're resting them, right, and then bringing them on 5 minutes to go in the game. What is the bloody point?
Give them a
What
bit
is
of
the
it,
point?
a bit of something in their legs for Wednesday.
Sorry, Ben, come on. Talk to some sense into me right now, please. Tell me.
Well,
Honestly.
do you think which is the best way to manage Wednesday when you know that you're getting injuries every week? Sar's gone down today. Kulusevski went down last week. Would you prefer us to go like full pelt and risk another injury for Wednesday?
Well, we're not on form, mate.
Pardon?
We're not on form. We're in terrible form.
In the Premier League we are, but these players are doing well in the Europa League.
It don't matter. We are doing badly. We're really badly in form. We're not in bad form at the moment.
Correct.
Not in Europa League, we're not.
Like, and the thing that really confuses me, Richarlison's hardly seen any football. Not that I really care about him because I want him gone tomorrow. But you know, I'm confused why he's not playing. Like, why is Kinski playing? Why is Kinski playing?
Do you not
I mean,
think he
he's all
played well
right today, but why is Vicario not playing? It blows my mind, that one, right? Alderweireld was okay in the first half, okay, right? But you know, we saw what happened in the second half. I'm not going to go too much on Tell because we shouldn't sign him anyway. Right? Someone's shown a little bit of promise, yeah, but it's confusing me. And the thing is, though, if he can make a performance like that, I don't want to hear the excuse about injuries anymore. Then, if we can perform like that in the first half, because that's supposedly our B team, I'm told.
Yeah, I mean,
But we're talking about
it
injuries.
it was decent in the first half, but it was nothing special, was it? Like,
No,
we
it's
still
nothing
know.
special. No, I'm not saying it's anything special. I'm not going to give you that. No, definitely not. But I'm just confused. Why do we have our first team on the bench when you're saying that you're going to rest them, and you bring them on 5 minutes to go? It makes no sense. I mean, I think Johnson should have played today. If Johnson's playing today, he scores a few. There was a few chances. I mean, one chance that Son should have really taken a chance, but he passed it. You know, tried to make an assist for somebody in the box. So,
But Alex, he said in the press conference before the game, he said that, you know, in an ideal world, I'm not saying the exact quote here, but he said in an ideal world, he would have liked to have given these guys minutes, but because of the way things are going and the injuries, he's going to wrap them in cotton wool. So he played a second team today, and I guess bringing them on is just to get them a bit of at least a few minutes in their legs before the game on Wednesday.
Well, Ben, if you recollect after the Bodo Glimt game, right? Okay. By the way, I'm not happy with you, Sim. By the way, because big up to Manny.
God,
By the
here
way,
we go.
big up to Manny. Yeah, right. Because when I wanted to debate him, you bottled it. You absolutely bottled it. And who do you get to debate on your bloody panel, your panel show? Oh, you know who I'm talking about. Oh, here we go. You know what I mean?
What are you talking about?
Oh, I can't even see you now. But anyway, moving on.
What's he talking about?
Come on, Alex. Don't stop there. Tell us who you're talking about.
What did we do? I bowled a debate. I didn't bowl
You
any.
bowled the debate because big up to Manny, by the way, because he came on my show. Yeah.
What's Manny got to do with me bowling a debate? I don't understand.
A nice conversation. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've got no problem.
What's that got to do with me?
Turns up. Yeah?
What's that got to do with me?
You don't want Mr. Box Office to debate with people, don't you? Because you don't like that heat, don't you? You know what I mean? But you get other people on your show to do it, the panel show, your diplomatic panel show, whatever you call it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I love you guys. I absolutely love you guys. Yeah, personally love you guys.
Who are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about, bro. You know exactly
no clue what you're talking about, Alex.
Come on, Alex. I've got no clue.
Tell us.
You know exactly what you're talking about because
I don't.
When Manny came on. I should have debated him on your show, yeah? But you bottled it because you said you didn't want it. And luckily he came on my show and he was very good about it. He was a good sport, right?
Okay, great.
I still don't agree with him because I think he's deluded. But to be fair to him, he's a good lad and he turns up. So I do like him and I promote his show as well. So you should subscribe to him, by the way, because he's a good lad.
Manny's a great guy. He's a great guy.
No,
Big up to Manny.
No, he's a good lad. He's a good sport.
He's not deluded. He's not deluded. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, he's a good show yesterday. But you should have let us debate on your show. You've missed out big time, bro. Anyway, moving on.
You never requested a debate on the show.
I absolutely love you, Tim. Yeah, and Ben, you know I love you too.
Well, I believe Manny's in the back end now. So if you want to come on together, maybe we can. That's something that can be arranged.
No, that's all right now.
No,
who's falling? Oh my god! Oh my god!
We did it yesterday.
You can't give it the big one all of a sudden. No. Wait.
This is Alex in a nutshell. Alex in a nutshell. Sending in super chat saying. Alex sends in super chats. He's like, bring me on. I need to debate you. And then when we say, come on, you're nowhere to be seen.
What? Oh no! That doesn't count. That doesn't count because Alex was at work.
Yeah, but you sent in a super chat saying, bring me on.
You're talking about yourself in the third person.
Yeah, Alex was at work. Yeah, Alex was at work. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't want to get, you know what I mean? But anyway, moving on.
Alex was at work and Mr. Box Office was ready to debate.
Exactly. But anyway, moving on. But go back to the football. Because I want to make it brief because Manny needs his time to shine. The point is, though, is that I just don't understand the logic of our manager. Yes, okay, we've got a cup final, and we will beat Manchester United because when you see what Onana's just done, right? Yeah, I don't think it was a penalty. To be fair, it was a bit of a dodgy one. I've got to be honest against Chelsea, right? But I do think I don't like our attack, but if we can keep it tight, I do think we're definitely going to win the game. I definitely think we're winning the game. I've said.
Okay, and that's all that matters, isn't it? Is that not all that matters right now?
Yeah, no. I'm saying we're going to win the game. But
he's got to do everything to get the cup final.
Too excited though. I still want this guy gone though. I still want Ange Postecoglou gone though. He needs. Well, he's going anyway. So it don't matter. He's going anyway. So I don't even know where people are like. But I still want him done. He can't be here next season. He cannot be here next season. I'm sorry, no way, Jose. He cannot be here next season, right? Because this has been awful this season, and I'm sorry, the consistency, right? I'm a consistent guy, right? I need to see consistency. It's messing up my head. This up and down form. It's not good. It's not good for me. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? And
only 2 more games to go, Alex. Only 2 more games to go.
But we've only got 1 more game to go, in my opinion. Now, the cup final, and that's it for me. I'll be honest with you, because I can't do this no consistency anymore for me. I think you've got to, like, there are youngsters out there. I think Mikey Moore needs to go on loan, right? Archie Gray needs to go on loan, right? Because it's just not working in midfield, right? And he's losing confidence, the poor boy, right? Danzo's good. He's a good defender. I'll give him that, right? He can actually defend, right? So I'll give him that. I don't know what we're going to do with Spence. I really don't know what we're going to do with Spence. I've got to be honest. Tell I wouldn't sign because again, I describe a backup, and you know what I don't like backups, right? If you're negotiating a fee for someone that's on loan that is supposedly trying to impress, we're doing the same thing. We're doing the same mistake that we did with Werner, Timo Werner, right? So if he's not doing it right now, don't bother. There are players out there that can take their opportunity better. Okay, yeah, I do see the fact that people say he's young, but we see nothing. We've seen nothing from the kid, right? To say that this kid's going to do something. So don't bother. Do not bother, right? Solanke's got to do much better, right? And I want to see Johnson more forward for me. And I want to see Poro more forward as well, to be honest with you, right? I think for me, right, we need to have 3 at the back and wing backs, right? I think you need to get, if you want creativity, get Poro on the wings for me, right? Double pivot, Bentancur and Basuma. Now, I'm worried about their form at the moment because they needed to play today, right? They needed to play today for form.
They did. Who, Bentancur, Basuma?
Well, no, he came on halfway through later on, very late in the second half. What was the point in that? What was the point in that?
You say they're on bad form, but I think when they've played together, they've been brilliant every time.
Yeah, because we played Bodo Glimt.
Yeah.
Bodo Glimt, we're supposed to be beating them.
Well, yeah.
I've still got the same energy, Sim and Ben. Sorry.
But it's
Same energy.
It's still a European semi-final.
Again, you should be beating Bodo Glimt.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams we should be beating.
Lazio should have been Bodo Glimt as well, but they didn't do it.
Okay, we can do this all day long, Ben, but I'm still saying, right, it's Bodo Glimt. Right?
Let me ask you this,
if we
Alex.
go and beat Man United, I'll come on. I'm hoping that you're going to do me a favour. You know what favour I'm talking about. But if we do beat Bodo Glimt, I'll be on your show and I'll beat Man United. I'll be on your show and I'll say I was wrong. I got it wrong with Ange Postecoglou. He's won in his second season.
Will you sing his name?
No, I won't because I want him out the door. But I will admit that I was wrong, and that's all I've got to say really, because I just think that's it for me.
Alex, everyone in the comments is saying you're way too calm. What's going on here today?
Am I really? Oh, is that really? They're saying something nice about me. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I might put a smile on Sin's face because he looks so miserable now. Anyway, moving on.
Alex, how much of a boost would it be if Bergval's part of the matchday squad on Wednesday?
No, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be part of the matchday squad. He should be just. No, sorry, no. Sorry, I'm not having that. He just because he's had a good half a season. No, an all right half a season. He shouldn't be. He should worry about getting fit next season. I don't know why we're rushing him. Why are we rushing him back for?
Because it's a cup final.
Yeah, but what? The kid's young. I'm sorry, but we're ruining him just for his little moment in a cup final. I understand it's big for the kid, but why are we rushing the kid? You know what I mean?
Last time we spoke about Bergval, you said you didn't rate him. Has that changed?
I think he's okay.
He's okay.
I think he's okay. I don't think he's. I know people are going to say that I don't listen to him because I don't rate. But I'm sorry, guys, but I'm not overexcited about somebody that I've seen for 5 minutes. I need to see more. Like I say, I'm a consistent guy. I need to see something consistently.
He's just won our Player of the Year. Do you think it was warranted?
Well, I don't think anybody's really been brilliant, haven't they? Because it was going to be Kulu, wasn't it, at the time, wasn't it? And then Kulu got injured.
Maddison, maybe?
he's been good, but I think it's been mixed with him, hasn't it? Really, but I mean, that's because of Ange in certain plays, because of the way he plays him, and yeah, it's just it's been a mix. It's been a mixture, hasn't it? Really, you know what I mean? So, but yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the goals at the moment. They are not very good goals to let in. The corner that we let in was awful, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And the goal from Kamara, the midfield were just very, very weak. But I mean, it's what expected, isn't it? Really, you know what I mean? But listen, I'm not trying to moan here. I'm just saying at the moment. I know people are going to say I'm moaning, but I don't really care. I'm just really reiterating. I just think. What is the point of putting your first team on the bench and then giving them only 5 minutes? You might as well, if you're going to rest them, don't put them in the team at all. Don't put them on the sub bench at all. You know what I mean? You might as well just don't put them in the team at all. Then
who else is going to be on the bench?
In the team. Put all the youngsters in the team then, because then you're resting the whole first team, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, I would say the most sensible thing is to play your first team in the first half, right? Okay. If they get a bit tired, take them off. At least you gave them a little bit of minutes, okay? And then put your subs on, and that's it. At least you've got a little bit of minutes. You try and get some form. Aston Villa were a little bit struggling, to be honest with you, because the pressure was on them to get the result today.
Yeah.
Right? So, for me, that was more important, because now you're really putting yourself a lot of pressure to go at Manchester United. And, yeah,
There's pressure either way, mate, trust me.
It's going to be pressure either way, but I do still think we're going to win anyway. But my 5 minutes are up anyway, because I don't want to take too much of your time anyway. You know what I mean? But,
Big up,
Sim,
Alex.
stop talking rubbish. Stop talking rubbish. That's what I said last time.
Stop bottling debates, Alex, and I'll stop talking rubbish.
Very funny. Very funny.
There you go.
Yeah.
That smile. I didn't see that smile after we beat Bodo, Alex. That's what I'm saying. I never saw that smile on your face when we beat Bodo. I didn't see it.
Oh, really?
I didn't.
It's nice to see you both anyway. It's a shame I can't see you in Bilbao, but, hopefully you can do me that favour. You know what I'm talking about.
We'll
you know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you?
We'll speak, Alex.
Nice one,Alex.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
It's getting strange now.
Take care, yeah? What do you mean? What did you say? Cheeky. Love you. Big up, lads, yeah?
See you,
care,
Alex.
yeah?
Meet you soon, Alex. Nice one. Love Mr. Box Office. Is there anyone else?
No, Manny's gone.
Oh, Manny's gone.
Right.
That's unfortunate. But yeah, that is it from us today, man. We'll be back in the studio for player ratings, match review, reacts, and all that jazz. Got a Tottenham update for you guys tomorrow as well. So yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow, guys. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
Come on, you Spurs.